the hallowed chambers, and my guest today is an honorable member of the House of Representatives. His name is Honorable Clement Jimbo, and he represents Abak Etimekpo Ika, Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. He's also the Deputy Chairman of the House National Planning and Economic Development Committee in the House of Representatives. Thank you for joining us on the Hallowed Chambers.
Thank you very much for having me.
Let's start with the very present challenge we see currently in the country, and going by the committee you also in. What is your take about what Nigerians are passing through? Because a lot of people are beginning to ask questions. What are their representatives doing? They're beginning to sort of lose a little bit of confidence in representation because they are not seeing an ease, to their suffering. It keeps, increasing on a daily basis. What do you have to say about this?
Well, thank you very much, and once again for having me. Nigerians are seeing what we are doing in the 10th Assembly specifically, because number one, starting by the name we've chosen to call the 10th Assembly. We said it is the People's House. By that implication, the House is for the people. And ever since we were inaugurated on the 13th of June, 2023, the first critical assignment or challenge that the executive posed to us was to pass the supplementary budget. Ever since we were inaugurated, every action that we've taken in the 10th Assembly are all targeted at bringing solutions to Nigerians because of the challenge they are facing due to the removal of fuel subsidy as announced by the executive and by Mr. President in particular. So we first passed the supplementary budget without wasting time for the executive to have what to use to apportion different palliative measures for Nigerians. That's number one. Then number two, we equally deem it necessary to move a whole lot of motions on infrastructures, because part of what is creating this gap in developing Nigeria is because of so many infrastructures in Nigeria are not in their right position, and we had to bring this to the fore for the executive to equally do something about it. So what we did last year, most of those infrastructural motions have found their way into the 2024 Appropriation Act that has just been passed into law. So that is what Nigerians are doing, the 10th Assembly is doing. Then, talking about insecurity, just about a couple of days ago, we deem it necessary to amend the 1999 Constitution to delist a Nigerian police force from the executive list and placing it on the concurrent list so that we can have state police and give it the legal framework. So by and large, where we are today as a nation, it didn't just happen because of 2 days event of last year, of a year before last. It is as a result of many neglects of decisions that our leaders failed to take. So the 10th House of Representatives is doing everything within the powers that is vested on it by the Constitution to make sure we do things differently and rightly so.
Well, you have mentioned that the 10th National Assembly is doing all that in its power. So are you saying that the executive on its part, the executive arm of government, is not performing as it should in terms of its policies, plans and programs to meet the yearnings of the people? Because yes, it's beautiful to say it on paper and tell it to Nigerians, but what you're feeling is different. There's a disparity. So where is that connection?
I agree with you partly. You see, I normally like to use this very analogy. No matter how desperate a couple desire to have a baby, they must be willing to wait for a minimum of 9 months. And the mother must be willing to endure the labor pains in the labor ward. That is the reality. Nigeria, it is where it is today, not because of one singular action that was taken. It is as a result of myriad of actions taken wrongly in the past. And for us to get it rightly positioned, it will take time. That is the core truth, the basic truth that every Nigerian must take. Now, where did we get it wrong? It didn't start from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. It never started with the previous administration. it did not even start with the administration before last. It started right from the day we got independence, where many things that ought to be done were neglected. And we started building on those errors going forward till we get to where we are. And we must tell ourselves the bitter truth. The legislative in the past contributed to it. The executive in the past contributed to it. Our 36 governors in the past contributed to it. But now there is a need for everybody to chart a new leaf. That is why we are amending the very ground norm where everything that regulates our lives lies on, which is the Constitution. Nigeria is ripe for state police. That is where we are. Nigeria is ripe for local government financial autonomy. That is where the 10th House of Assembly is right now. So until we change this thing to begin to have a ripple effect in the interland, then we should endure a little bit longer.
Yes, Nigerians keep hearing endure a little bit longer, tighten your belts, it's going to get better. But they wonder how long would they have to wait? Because they hear that, okay, palliatives are being rolled out, there are intervention funds, the House or the Senate is passing one fund or the other, but they are yet to see these trickle down to the common man. So where is that missing link, I will ask again? Where are these interventions going to?
To be very fair to Nigerians, the current executive are doing everything within their powers. And what we are witnessing is like somebody who has run for maybe 200-meter race and is thirsty, and what you are bringing in is a drop of water to his tongue. Yes, have you given him water? Yes. But is that water enough? No. That is what it is.
So you're saying that the people are getting, but they're not getting
they are
enough.
Not, it is not enough because enough is not available. The executive, they are not magicians. For example, we passed the 2024 budget, which is about 28 trillion. Are we saying that the money is on ground? No. We still need, as a country, to source the money in order to finance the budget. So Nigerians would need to wait. If the money was on ground by now, the executive would have released all the money to the different MDAs to begin procurement process. But that is not the case, because even as a family, as a man, you don't have all the monies you need for your family at the go. You go out, you work, you meet up this need. You tell this other need, wait. You tell this other one, it is urgent. It is the same way. The president of Nigeria today is the father of the nation. And he has the prerogative power to channel and appropriate resources that are available appropriately. And sometimes it will not go round at all at the same time. That is where we solicit for Nigerians to still have patience. But certainly I can tell you that this administration and the 10th House of Representatives and the National Assembly as a whole, we are doing everything to make sure we solve these problems once and for all.
There is a growing debate now of who is to blame for the current economic challenge that Nigerians face. Should it be the current administration? Should it be the past administration? Or should it be the state governors who they say have gotten, funds from, revenue accrued from the removal of fuel subsidy? Who should be held responsible?
Ever since the president announced that subsidy was gone, we have seen the increment in the revenue that accrues to the state every month. But right now, many people are still channeling their attention to the federal government. What happened to the 36 governors? About 3 days ago, we moved a motion in the floor of the National Assembly. Say, look, the funds of the state government have increased. Why can't the state government equally synergize with the federal government to allow this thing go down to the barest minimum? This is the challenge National Assembly is having. We don't have the police, the army, the DSS that move around with us, that police us. But the executive do. The federal government, they do have. The state governors, they do have. So that completely barriers the people from getting access to them. Every process that wants to happen comes to the National Assembly. because we are vulnerable. We are the people. So we must equally talk to those that we know resources have been channeled to them to please, for crying out loud, lose your guard. As for the 10th House of Assembly, we are doing our best, and I can, without overriding on the decision of the presiding officers, majority of us believe that this country is ripe for local government autonomy and state policy.
All right, so we'll still talk more on that, but we'll take a quick break now. Don't go anywhere. We still have more for you on the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The National Assembly is a busy place. As the bastion of democracy, it is a place where bills are presented, motions debated, laws made, and the yearnings of the people are laid bare. Come with us as we take you through the workings of the National Assembly. We take you through plenary, committee meetings, and probes, all to ensure smooth working of the democratic process.
Thank you for staying with us on the Hello Chambers, and my guest remains Honorable Jimbo Clement, and we have been talking about the prevailing economic challenge in the country faces. Now you're saying that the state governors should loosen their belt and let down their guard. Now we see in the Senate bills springing up for development commissions. We see the Southwest calling for a development commission. We see the Southeast saying, you know, many regions are now calling for a development commission in their region to ease the sufferings.
Absolutely.
Is this a possible answer to, you know, salvaging this situation?
It's one of the answers. It's the right step in the right direction. You will agree with me, the agency that was created in the Niger Delta Development Commission in 2001 or 2001, I want to believe. I'm not quite sure. Take it or leave it, as added to the development of the Niger Delta 9 states. So the Northeast Development Commission is equally, it was created. Take it or leave it, it has added to the development of the Northeastern state. And the Southeastern, I think we passed the bill into law. They are equally agitating for the creation or establishment of the Southeast Development Commission. And if the Southwest is equally agitating for it, there is nothing wrong. And I will equally advise the North Central to equally do so. These are avenues where resources can be channeled for the development of regions, of zones. I know you would ask me, okay, Niger Delta, so much has gone into it, so much has been stolen and blah, blah, blah.
I was going to come to that.
Take it or leave it. It is not 100% that is stolen. Even it is at the end of the day, 1% is used for the people. It is a plus. Yes, it's a healthy development.
All right. A lot of people also believe that oil theft is one of the issues that should be discussed, because the country loses lots of barrels of crude on a daily basis to oil theft, majorly in the Niger Delta region where you also come from. Why is it so difficult to manage the situation, and it seems like a sabotage in the system?
Yes, of course, there are sabotage. There are sabotage. You can't take that away. Sabotage on the part of the communities, sabotage on the part of the IOCs, sabotage on the part of security agencies that are even saddled with the responsibility of protecting these things. So that is why we have a government. A government should be able to have its own intelligence on ground to fish out anybody that tries to negate the positivity that you are trying to do to the people. But I must give it to the administration without having to praise them, because when this administration was inaugurated, I think the OPEC quota for Nigeria was about 1.75 million barrels per day, and we could not even meet the OPEC quota. We were running at about less than 1 million barrels per day. But right now, the latest report I was privileged to see on NNPC window was that we are at the region of 1.6 million barrels per day. So that is a plus. And that is that credit is given to this mission because they have given the right direction and the right instruction to our security agencies, the civil defense, the Navy, and any other agencies of government that are saddled with the responsibility of protecting our oil installation. And of course, the private security outfit that was equally asked to intervene, the Tantita, they are all working in synergy to to see that. And the House, the 10 House of Assembly equally deemed it necessary to set up a special committee in the House that is going to run in the lifespan of the House, a special committee on oil theft. And by the grace of God, I'm a member of that committee. So we have interfaced with all the different head of agencies that are saddled with this responsibility on a fact-finding mission. And it is mind-blowing what we have discovered.
One more question before I let you go. As a representative of the people in Akwa Ibom State, what kind of attention and intervention are you hoping to bring to your people? Because they also have their challenges. So how are you hoping, to represent them in the House of Representatives and bring, ease to their sufferings?
Thank you very much. Throughout my electioneering campaign, I promised my people 3 things. First is effective representation. Second is responsible leadership. Third is shared prosperity. And without having to blow my trumpet, within this first 7-8 months that we've been on the saddle, I have been able to live up with these 3 responsibilities with practical examples. When I was inaugurated on the 13th of June, the first thing I did was to dive into the 2023 budget, which I knew I still have time to administer that budget for my constituents. And I saw a whole lot of projects that were included in the budget. It is my responsibility to make sure those projects were implemented. And I can tell you here that over 90% of those projects have been implemented in 2023 alone.
That is our package for you this week. You can see this episode again on TVC News YouTube channel. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Also watch a repeat broadcast at 7 a.m. on Sunday on TVC News. Thank you for watching. I am Tijesu Adeoye. See you next time.